welcome if you're just joining us. We're going to get started in a nice seated position. If you have a block or two for class as well, that will be great. So don't be afraid to grab blocks if you have them, or anything else, pillows, blankets will be great for class. But we'll start in Sukhasana pose. So easy pose, nice seated position. You can cross the legs, kind of cross the ankles. You can sit on the shins, whatever feels right. And two, you can always sit on a blanket or a block or a pillow just to kind of lift the hips above the knees. That might kind of feel good for the spine and the inner thighs. Before we find some stillness, feel free to roll the shoulders up and down, maybe kind of roll the head of the neck. Just kind of let any tension go in the shoulders and the face. And then whenever you're ready, maybe find some stillness. We won't be here too long. Sukhasana, this seated position, isn't always a fun position, but as best you can, see if you can start to relax a little bit. So ground down through the sit bones, feel the earth underneath you. Start to feel engagement through the core. So gravity is a resistance, it's pulling us down, compressing the vertebrae in our spine. So you're going to want to engage the core to find that lift, to keep space between the vertebrae to avoid that compression in the spine. And then bringing awareness to the shoulders, kind of see where the shoulders are at, see if they're crunching towards the ears, see if you can soften them down the back, keeping space between the shoulders and the ears. And I am a person that lives with my shoulders to the ears, so when I flip my palms face up, this kind of really helps relax the shoulders down and back. And then pretend there is a string lifting the crown of the head towards the sky, creating a nice long spine. And then just bring awareness to the head. Kind of see where the head and even the chin is at. Trying to make sure the head, the skull is sitting right on top of the spinal column. So sometimes we point the chin forward and the head tilts back. So maybe explore kind of drawing the chin in as you grow tall through the crown of the head, keeping the back of the head, the back of the neck, the cervical spine nice and long. And just be aware of what's happening here. Feel the core muscles, maybe feel the shoulders muscles working, but also, kind of feel this length in the spine. So our spine is so important, but gravity is always pushing us down. So we need to, be strong within the center to really help us lift up. And then option 2, start to bring awareness to the breath. Just starting to feel that nice rise and fall, maybe of just the chest since the belly is engaged. If connecting with the breath doesn't feel right, no need to do it. And then option 2, maybe set a focal point or an intention for your practice. This could be, just the breath, coming back to the breath, letting the breath help you be here, anchor you to your mat. Or maybe there's a word, a phrase that serves your practice today. If nothing comes to mind, I offer up the phrase of be here now. One reason why I love yoga so much is because it helps us be aware of what's happening right now. Being fully present in this moment, and try not to live too much in the past or the future. So maybe for the next 60 minutes, see if you can be here right now with your body, with your practice, and what's happening in your space. Letting go of any future thoughts, past thoughts that may come up. So if you have an intention, go ahead, place it at the third eye, hold it there, come back to it whenever you need to. And then go ahead, take a deep inhale into the nose, start to fill the belly, the chest, feel the body expand and rise. And then maybe open mouth, exhale, side out to let it all go. Beautiful. One more deep inhale, fill up, send breath to every inch of the body. Maybe hold it at the top. And then slow open mouth, exhale, let it go. And then let your breath come back to your rhythm, your pace. If you like your Ujjayi Pranayama breath, you can always take that. So as you inhale through the nose, seal the lips. And then as you exhale, take it back out through the nose. So you're creating a slight constriction in the back of the throat, making the breath audible. Listening to the breath, you're using the breath to help you be here now. And then you can stay here as long as you want, but whenever you're ready, feel free to slowly reawaken. Maybe wiggle the fingers, find some half circles in the head and the neck, open and close the mouth. And then go ahead, you can kind of release the seat. We'll come back here, but kind of give the legs, the pelvis some love. You can extend the legs long, kind of shake them out. And then coming back to your seated position, if you were cross-legged, maybe you sit the awkward way. So if you're kind of right-handed, that right leg may be in front. So see what happens when you cross the left leg in front. But coming back to your seat, and then ground down through the sit bones. Take a big inhale, start to reach the arms high. Find some more length in the spine, and then as you exhale, twist to the left. So left hand can come to the side, maybe behind you. Right hand can come to the knee, the thigh, whatever feels best. But see if you can press high onto the left fingertips. Take a big inhale, reach to the crown of the head, and then gently twist as you exhale. Let's take one more big inhale, lift up. Exhale, gently twist. And then as you inhale, unwind, reach the arms back up overhead. Then as you exhale, take it to the right. Right hand can come to the side, maybe behind you. Left hand to the knee, the thigh. We'll start to lift up high into the right fingertips. Take a big inhale, find space between the vertebrae. And then as you exhale, gently twist, maybe sending the gaze towards the right. But find a spot that feels good here. One more round of breath. Big inhale. Gently twist as you exhale. And then as you inhale, unwind, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, release. Hands can come out in front of you. Kind of walk side to side here. See how the hips, the inner thighs, even kind of how the shoulders and the chest feel. Don't worry if your forehead is nowhere near the ground. Find a spot that feels good for you. And then coming back to center, feel free to adjust your seat if needed. We're going to start to, find our eagle arms, Gardasana. So inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and then right arm will come underneath the left. So you can cross at elbows, maybe just grab for shoulders, see how that feels. Or you can explore crossing at the forearms. So maybe right hand can kind of grab for the left wrist. So find a spot that feels good. And then from here, see if you can draw the elbows forward, creating space between the shoulder blades. So really opening up the upper back. And then some movement here as you inhale, gently lift the gaze, maybe the arms, think of a little a cow spine, a little back bend. And then as you exhale, cat, draw the elbows in, chin towards the chest, really start to round the spine. So a couple more just with the breath. Inhale, lift the arms up, send the gaze up. Exhale, round the spine, elbows pull in towards the belly. Beautiful work. One more big inhale, lift up. Exhale, round the spine, pull it in. And then holding here in your cat back, let's stretch up the upper back, the neck. So see if you can really press your heart to the wall behind you, send the chin to the chest. Breathe into the neck. You can always find movement, maybe send the head to the right, to the left. Feel free to hold wherever it feels best. Couple rounds of breath here. And then when you're ready, chin back towards the center, slowly unwind. Inhale, you can reach the arms up overhead. And then exhale, release, let it go. Good. So you can stay here. If you want to come back to your regular seated position, you can cross the right ankle on top of the opposite ankle. And I apologize, my kids are hanging out by the door. But we'll take the other side, eagle arms. So as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and then left arm will come underneath the right. You can cross the elbows, give yourself a hug, reach for shoulders, or maybe explore crossing at kind of like the forearm. So left hand will kind of grab for the right wrist. And then draw your elbows forward, find space between the shoulder blades here. Really breathe into the upper back. And then you can stay here or finding movement as you inhale, little cow, lift the heart, maybe lift the arms. And then as you exhale, cat, round the spine, pull the elbows towards the belly, chin to the chest. Flowing with your breath, inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, pull it in. Beautiful. Let's do one more big inhale, cow, little back bend. Exhale, cat, round, pull it in, and then option to hold here. So think about really reaching your heart to the wall behind you, finding your cat back, rounding the spine, and then chin can draw towards the chest. See how that feels. Breathing into the back of the neck. Hang out here or find some half circles, kind of go left and right. Open and close the mouth. And then slowly chin back towards the center. As you inhale, unwind, reach the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, release. Awesome job. So let's come out of the seated position. Come into tabletop. Come onto all fours. Feel free to place a blanket underneath the knees. And we'll take about 5 rounds of breath here. You can just start to sway the hips side to side. Open and close the mouth. Maybe find some circles in the hips. Go one way, go the other. Or you can come back to that cat-cow movement we were just doing. So as you inhale to cow, lower the belly, lift the heart. And then as you exhale, cat, round the spine. So again, coming back to maybe your breath, back to your intention. Now seeing if you can keep the awareness inward here with the body, but also too, not attaching yourself to thoughts. So just noticing, try not to judge, try not to attach yourself to something. Just really being aware of what's happening right now. That's why I love connecting with the breath. It really allows the mind to stay here, present, but also, not attaching itself to what's happening and what's not happening. And then lastly, stay here, or maybe puppy dog pose, heart melting pose. Gonna open up the chest, so you can walk the hands forward, keep the hips on top of the knees, and just allow the forehead to draw towards the ground. Don't worry if the forehead doesn't reach the ground, but just find a spot that feels good in your shoulders and your chest. You can even kind of tabletop the fingers, coming high into the fingertips, lifting the wrists. One more round of breath. Take a big inhale. Let it go as you exhale. Good. And then release, coming back to tabletop. And then from here, we're going to find our high plank. So first, check out the hands. So gently spread the fingers, grip your fingertips, your knuckles down, and start to really press the ground away. But keep the shoulder blades flat on the spine. And then engage the belly, so try not to arch the low back. And then you can stay here, or find high plank, extend the legs long. So as you extend the legs long, drive through the heels. So as you press the heels away, feel the thighs turn on, the lower body, the legs, the glutes. And know that you can always come back to the knees, especially if you're placing weight in the low back. Find support, come onto the knees. Keep the core driving in, keeping the low back really strong and supported. And then from here, we're going to slowly move into down dog. So take a big inhale. As you exhale, press through the hands, start to send the hips high, bend the legs, drive the heels back. So we're just going to take this movement a couple times. Think about using your core to shift forward and back. As you inhale, shift forward, high plank, shoulders over the wrists, belly in, drive the heels away. And then as you exhale, downward dog, Adho Mukha, send the hips high. Maybe start to bend into the legs. Beautiful. 2 more. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Start to breathe into the shoulders. Exhale, down dog, send the hips high. Good. Now inhale, shift forward to high plank. Hold here. Now as slow as you can, lower all the way down to the ground. Good. Setting up for Sphinx pose. So come onto the forearms. Elbows will be underneath the shoulders. You can draw the elbows towards the belly, but start to draw the belly in. Once again, using the core to lift up. So really avoiding compression here. You can always stay here, maybe look to the left, look to the right, find any movement in the head and the neck that feels best, or just hang out in stillness. 2 more rounds of breath. Belly in, elbows draw towards the belly, lifting up out of the low back. 1 more big inhale. And then as you exhale, lower down, slide the palms underneath the shoulders, and we'll set up for Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. So a little more active back bend here. Feet press down, knees will lift. Find your thighs, your glutes, And then right away, send the shoulder blades down the spine. Space between the shoulders and the ears. And then when you're ready, just slowly start to lift up. Cobra Bhujangasana. So we're not going high here, just a little lift in the chest. Start to turn on the spine muscles. Find, strength in the back of the body. Make sure to breathe. One more big inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly release. We'll do 2 more just with the breath if you want them. So when you're ready, inhale, lift up, Bhujangasana. Little to no weight in the hands. Exhale, lower down. Okay, one more. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Feet root down, knees lift. And then exhale, release. Good. We'll meet in child's pose. You can tuck the toes under. You can always press up or come onto the forearms. And the knees can go wide, big toes to touch. Child's pose. Hips can stay lifted. Listen to the hips, the knees here. You can always place a pillow behind you. And then any variation of the arms. Hands can walk forward. Maybe relax the forearms. You can even walk the hands forward to the left, to the right. We'll take about 5 rounds of breath here, just resetting. And then option to focus on some back breathing. So as you inhale, think about sending the breath to the back of the body. Shoulder blades will draw away from one another, creating space in the back. And then as you exhale, allow the heart to relax, but maybe allow the crown of the head to reach forward. So as you inhale, feel the back rising, expanding. And then as you exhale, see if you can find length in the spine, crown of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back. And one more big inhale, fill up. Big exhale, soften, let it go. And then you can stay here in child's pose as long as you want. When you're ready, come back up. And then your choice, tabletop or downward facing dog. So we'll hold here in down dog. Maybe start to find movements. Pedal up the legs, sway the hips. But really keep the hands active. Press the hands down to send the tailbone high. And then draw the belly in, the front ribs in. So you're not arching the low back. And then 2, if you have tightness either in the hamstrings, in the low back, so tightness anywhere in the back of the body, explore bending the legs. That might give you a little more freedom. So, bending the legs will help. And also keep the length in the back body happening. Shake the head yes, shake it no. And coming back to the breath, knowing that the shoulders are working here. Breathing into the shoulders. Also finding space in the back of the body. And then whenever you're ready, you can slowly walk the hands and the feet together. Doesn't matter where on your mat. We'll take a couple rounds of breath in ragdoll. Nice relaxed forward fold. So allow the legs to bend. Maybe cross the arms at elbows. Sway side to side. Shake the head yes, shake it no. One of my favorite postures is you just kind of hang here. Letting gravity help you. And gravity kind of finds space in the body. But also kind of letting go. Letting go of thoughts, letting go of tightness, tension in the body and in the mind. And then feel free to stay here or slowly release your grip. Take your time, let your blood pressure reset here. Keep a bend in the legs, just slowly roll up. Head is heavy, arms are heavy. Once you reach the top, you can kind of roll the shoulders up and down. Maybe find some circles in the head. And then if you're not there, you can go ahead, step to the top of your mat. So meeting into Tadasana mountain pose. Feet can be, about hip width distance, or maybe walk the feet in a little bit. Start to roll the shoulders up and down. Palms can shine forward. And then maybe, close the eyes or find a focal point out in front of you. But bringing awareness to the feet. Soften the toes, find a little lift from the arches of the feet, engaging the legs. And then see what's happening in the low back. Kind of see if you're kicking your butt up behind you. Draw the core muscles kind of in to lift up, protecting the low back. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Crown of the head lifts high. Take a deep inhale. Let it all go as you exhale. And then inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And then we'll take a side body stretch here. So you can stay here, but start to, kind of lean to the right. Right hand can go off to the side, or maybe your right hand reaches down to the right thigh. But kind of, lift up and then over with the left hand. Take a big inhale. Reach to the right as you exhale. And slowly inhale, reach the arms back up overhead. And then take it to the other side. You can kind of reach to the left. Maybe left hand comes down to the left thigh. We'll kind of reach up out of the hips and then over to the left. Beautiful work. Keep the core engaged. Protect the low back. One more big inhale. Reach up and over as you exhale. And then inhale, arms come back up, reaching high to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, a little bit in the legs. Ride the breath. Come all the way down to your mat. And then inhale, halfway lift. Palms can come to shins or to blocks. Crown of the head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back. And so pull the belly in, front ribs in, really strong upper body. And then we're going to step the left foot back. So take an inhale. As you exhale, low lunge, step the left foot back. So feet are hip width distance. Adjust the feet if you need to. Lift from the back left thigh. And then hands can stay on the ground. They can stay on the blocks. Or maybe lift and bring your hands to the hips. Crescent, high lunge. So draw the right hip back, left hip forward. See if you're kind of spilling out. Draw the navel in, kind of pull it in to lift up. You might be finding some space here in the front of the left thigh, your psoas, the hip flexor. So left hip draws forward, right hip draws back, but really make sure the core is engaged because a back bend is definitely happening here. And then hands can stay. If you want to work the shoulders, you can always reach the arms up overhead. Gaze forward or maybe challenge the balance. Start to send the gaze up, your choice. Beautiful work. One more big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Now pyramid pose. Start to straighten through the right leg, lift up, take an inhale breath, and then as you exhale, hinge forward. So this is a variation of pyramid pose. Left heel can be lifted. You can always kind of walk that left foot forward. But this is a great place to use blocks, or if you have a chair, place your hands on the chair. And then start to draw the right hip straight back. Bend into the right leg as much as you need it, but the right hip is going to draw straight back. The upper body can be relaxed. You can kind of, allow the forehead to draw towards the right leg, but just focusing really on this right hip pressing straight back. And then take an inhale, gently fold as you exhale. And then find a halfway lift as best as you can. You might not lift up too high depending on if you don't have blocks or chairs. So big inhale. Start to bend into the right leg as you exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot to meet the right. Shake it out. And then we're going to come into our chair pose. Inhale, Utkatasana. Bend the legs, sit the hips back, hands to heart, or maybe arms up overhead. But see if you can focus on, what's happening in this chair. It's really activating the legs. Feet drive away, pull the mat apart in two, and then squeeze the inner thighs in. Soften the shoulders back. If you feel like you're arching the spine and the arms are up overhead, you can explore reaching the arms forward or keep the hands at heart. Beautiful. Take one more big inhale. Sit a little lower as you exhale. Now we're going to come up to standing. So if those arms are up overhead, great. Take an inhale, reach up. And then as you exhale, hands to heart or off to the side, back to Tadasana or Samasthiti, standing at attention. Check in here, see how you feel. See if you need to adjust. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. So we'll kind of add those side body stretches here. So when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up overhead, maybe send the gaze up. And then as you exhale, reach over to the right, maybe right hand to the right thigh. Breathe into the left side. And then as you inhale, slowly come back up to center. Exhale, reach up and over to the left. Find your position here, belly in. And then inhale, back up to center. Arms can go high. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, come all the way down. And then inhale, halfway lift, long spine, belly in. Hands can come to blocks or to the shins. And then this time the right foot will step back. So setting up for lunge. So if you're hip width distance, so maybe walk the left foot over to the left side, find a sturdy base, and then lift from the back right thigh. So kind of draw the right heel away, firming up the back leg. Stay here, or maybe start to lift up, crescent, high lunge. Hands can come to the hips. But check in, see if you're, spilling forward, draw the belly in, engage the core, and then the right hip will draw forward, left hip back. The inner thigh will start to lift towards the sky. And then your choice with the arms. They can stay, give the shoulders a break. If you want to work the shoulders, arms can go high. But find your focal point out in front of you. Maybe explore sending the gaze up. Beautiful work. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. So strong, such a tough posture. And then when you're ready, start to straighten through the left leg. Lift up, take an inhale. Pyramid variation, hinge forward, hands to the blocks, maybe to the ground. If you have a table or like a box or something, anything to just bring the ground closer to the hands. But making sure to bend into the left leg as much as you need to, and just focus on driving the left hip straight back. Shoulders away from the ears, maybe forehead jaw towards, the left leg. Find a spot where you can breathe into the back of the left leg here. Soften the breath. Awesome work. And then take one more big inhale. Allow the upper body to be heavy. Left hip draws back as you exhale. And then finding a halfway lift. So just creating space here so you can step your right foot forward. So lift the heart, take a big inhale. Bend into the left leg, step the right foot to meet the left. Good. Shake it out. Awesome job. And then again, meeting in chair pose. So bend the legs, sit the hips back, Utkatasana, hands to heart, or reach the arms up overhead. So turn on the legs, feet drive away, inner thighs squeeze in, navel pulls in, engaging the core. And then you can always keep the hands at heart. That might feel good for the low back, or maybe start to reach them forward. Take an inhale, stay for the exhale. And then as you inhale, reach up, press to stand. Exhale, hands to heart, pull it in. Beautiful. Big inhale. If you need it to open mouth, exhale, let some heat go. Yes, we're going to take that one more time, and then we'll start to add on a little bit of balance, and then we'll slow it back down. So when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Stay here, or side body stretch, reach up and over to the right. Inhale, come back up to center, moving with the breath. Exhale, reach up and over to the left. And then inhale, back up to center. Exhale, forward fold, bend the legs, ride the breath, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or the blocks, and then step your left foot back. Make sure your feet are hip width distance, adjust if you need to. And then when you're ready, slowly rise, crescents, hands to hips or arms up overhead. Take a breath here, right hip draws back, left hip draws forward, big inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then as you inhale, straighten through the right leg. Exhale, pyramid, hinge forward. Hands to your chair, to the blocks, come all the way down. Right hip draws back. Breathe into the back of the right leg. Last round of breath. Good. Now as you inhale, find your halfway lift. Lift off the front thigh. Bend into the right leg. Exhale, forward fold, step, top of your mat. Right away, chair pose, sit the hips back, hands to heart, or arms up overhead. Okay. So we're going to press to one-legged Tadasana. So the right foot is going to stay grounded. And then as you inhale, rise, left knee lifts, and then hands can come to heart if they're not there. So if you're near a wall, feel free to grab the wall, or you can always, keep your left toes near the ground and kind of, tap the ground as much as you need it. So find support where it feels best. But then start to check in with the standing legs. Squeeze the right glute. Lift from the arch of the right thigh. Keep the belly in, soften the shoulders back. Yeah, so just feeling how this feels, or being aware of how this feels. Knowing the psoas is working, keeping that left knee lifted. Beautiful work. Find your focal point in something that's not moving out in front of you. And just holding here, kind of finding endurance of the muscles instead of, working the cardiorespiratory system as we kind of move a little bit faster with the breath. One more round of breath, big inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly release the left foot to the ground. Relax the shoulders, let it go. Beautiful. Same thing other side, last time. Big inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, maybe a side body stretch, reach to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, reach to the left. And then inhale back to center, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold to take it to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Right foot will step back, adjust the feet, low lunge, feet are hip width distance. And then take your time, stay here or slowly rise, crescent, high lunge. Left hip draws back, right hip draws forward. Pull the belly, the front ribs in. Take an inhale, stay for the exhale. And then inhale, straighten through the left leg, lift up. Exhale, pyramid, hinge forward, hands to your chair, to the blocks. Fold on top of the left leg. Focus on the left hip driving back. Take an inhale, stay for the exhale. And then find your halfway lifts. Bend into the left leg, step your right foot forward, top of the mat. Chair pose, inhale, Utkatasana, hips back, hands to heart or arms up overhead. So now this time the left foot will stay grounded. So when you're ready, press to stand, one leg into Tadasana. Right knee lifts, maybe hands come to heart. So remember, feel free to use the wall or keep your right toes near the ground. But flexing through the right foot, squeeze the left glute. You'll find strength through the standing foot, all the way up into the standing thigh, left glute muscle. And then core still pulling in, crown of the head lifts. And then find your jersey, your non-moving focal point out in front of you. A speck in the ground, in the wall. And then see if you can come back to the breath here. So strong. Breathe into your right hip flexor, the psoas muscle. That muscle's contracting to hold the right leg up. Not an easy task to do. Last round of breath, big inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Shake it out. Awesome job, beautiful work. And then whenever you're ready, just come all the way down, grab some water, take a seat. Beautiful work. So you can come to like a seated position. And then if you have a block, you can definitely use it here. So we can do a little bit of Pilates work seated and work the core. And then we'll come onto the back and do some work on the back. So if you have a block, you can place the block in between your hands and start to squeeze that block, okay? And so to listen to the shoulders, right? Anytime the shoulders are up over the head, the shoulders are gonna work. So we're gonna kind of work flexibility and strength here. So squeeze that block, legs are straight in front of you, kind of like a seated L. And then take an inhale, reach up. As you exhale, slowly start to reach the block forward, but allow the torso to lean back. Okay, squeeze that block, go as far down as you want. And then as you inhale, start to lift back up. Kind of reach the block high to the sky. Squeeze that block with the hands. And then as you exhale, slowly bring the block down, but slowly lean back. So only go as far back as you want. Couple more. Inhale, lift up. Kind of come back to your standing L position. Squeeze the block. Exhale, slowly lower. Lean back. Belly in. Listen to the low back. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze the block. And then as you exhale, slowly lower. Go as far down as you need it. Two more. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze the block. Exhale, lower. Go as far down as you need it. Awesome job. So strong. Last time, inhale, lift up, breathe into those shoulders, and then exhale, lower. Hold here, so belly in, and then we're gonna slowly come down to the ground. So squeeze that block, keep the core in. Know that you can release at any point, but slowly make your way all the way down to the ground. Okay, awesome. Block off to the side, maybe full body stretch, interlace the fingers, press the palms away, take some wiggles, kind of let it go. Breathe into the belly. And then you can stay here, bend the legs, maybe feet stay on the ground and you find movement. Or it might feel good to bring the knees to the chest, kind of rock side to side, give your low back some love. Good. And then we're going to do eagle crunches. Okay, so these are difficult. So know that regular crunches, kind of like in this 90 position, 90 degrees in the legs is great, or you can start to find the eagle pose. So we've done the arms, so let's do the arms first. Right arm underneath the left. You can cross at elbows, grab for the shoulders, or maybe right hand kind of grabs for the left forearm, the left wrist. And then now eagle legs. So right leg is going to cross on top of the left. So legs are together. Maybe you take the right toes and kind of draw them towards the left ankle, the left shin, or you can even kind of wrap the toes around the left leg. Now from here, you're going to start to pull the elbows and the knees together. Shoulder blades can lift off the ground, squeeze it in. So this is the crunch. And then as you inhale, extend, draw the arms and the legs away from one another. So exhale, crunch, elbows and knees draw together. And then inhale, extend, pull it away. Exhale, crunch, pull it in. Inhale, extend. So strong, couple more. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Good, so do as many as you can. We have about 10 seconds. No one's watching you, no one's judging you. So make sure you're not judging yourself. Do as many as you need here. Awesome job. Soften through the face, soften through the jaw. And if you're shaking like me, that's good. Means you're working, fatiguing those muscles. Maybe one more. Awesome work. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Knees to the chest or full body stretch. Take a breath or two before we do the other side. And then lastly, Eagle Gardasana crunches on the left. So left arm underneath the right, cross the elbows and wrists, or give yourself, a hug. And then left leg will go over the right. So cross the legs, maybe foot presses into the right shin, or you can wrap the toes around the right leg. And then from here, start to bring the elbows and the knees together, crunch, shoulder blades can lift. And then inhale, extend, lengthen, pull them away. Exhale, crunch, draw them together. Inhale, extend, lengthen. So as many as you got. Last little core work on the ground. Make sure to breathe and take a rest when you need it. So making sure you find your edge where you're close to the edge but not going over, right? Avoiding injury here. You don't want to hurt the low back. So 10 seconds, as many as you got. Make sure to breathe, take break when needed, or if you're feeling it, maybe push forward. Awesome job, everyone. Make sure to breathe. And then last one. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Maybe take a nice full body stretch, lengthen it out, soften through the face, the jaw. Whew. And then from here, you can kind of rock yourself up. And we'll meet in tabletop, so you can kind of shift your weight to one side. So either tabletop or downward facing dog. And just take a breath or two here. Shake the head yes, shake it no, reset. And then you can stay here in tabletop or down dog, or you can shift forward into your high plank. And then from high plank, lower to the knee, so kneeling plank. You're going to take 3 chaturangas. So we haven't done any chaturangas yet, so let's just explore them, those tricep push-ups. So belly in, take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, bend at the elbows, but squeeze the arms towards the ribs. And then inhale, press back up. 2 more if you want them. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, lower chaturanga, hold here. So about halfway down, elbows draw in. Take a big inhale. Lower all the way down to the ground. Good. Sphinx pose, you've been here, come onto the forearms. So kind of relax the fingers, but take some time here to stretch out the belly. So elbows draw to the navel, grow tall through the crown of the head. Maybe hang out here, find some movement in the head of the neck. Relax the jaw, soften the shoulders. And then 2, you can stay here, especially if you're feeling space in the front body and stretching out the core. Or option to maybe start to lift up into baby seal pose. So listen to the low back, but you can slowly start to lift the elbows off the ground. So very different than up dog. The hands are way forward in front of the shoulders, but still making sure the belly is engaged, so you're lifting up out of the low back. And if this doesn't feel right, come back down to the elbows, Sphinx pose, 2 more rounds of breath. Awesome work. Take a big inhale. Breathe into the spine, the belly as you exhale. And then slowly release. Walk the palms underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, child's pose, press up, knees go wide, send the hips back. So feel free to give your shoulders a break here. Maybe send the fingertips towards the toes. Open and close the mouth, start to soften. Just gonna allow all your hard work to soak in. Really important to strengthen our center, our core, our spine, the psoas, everything that connects kind of the front of the body or the top of the body to the back of the lower body. And go ahead, take a deep inhale, fill up, send the breath to the back of the lungs. Maybe open mouth, exhale, let some heat go. And then you can stay here for as long as you want. When you're ready, slowly start to lift up. And then we're gonna come to standing. So if you wanna, skip the whole transition from down dog to standing, you can. Or maybe come into down dog. Take a breath here. And then lift the heels, gaze forward, bend the legs, step, walk. Make your way to the top of your mat. And then take an inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold, release. Keep a little bend in the legs, rooting down, rising up, big inhale. And then exhale, hands to heart or off to the side. Good. So we're gonna take eagle pose. We're gonna kind of play with it with some transitions today. So kind of like the flow we did earlier on, but switching it up a little bit. All right, so if you need to, place your blocks back at the top. We're gonna add in standing splits and warrior one as well. So a little bit different. So coming to the top, and right away, ground down through the right foot. So one-legged Tadasana, you bend here. Start to lift the left knee. Hands can stay at the heart to start. Good. And then from here, we'll take this into eagle pose, Gardasana. So let's start with the arms. So eagle on the left side. Left arm comes underneath the right. Cross at elbows, give yourself a hug, or maybe cross at the forearms. And then left leg is gonna cross on top of the right. So from here, you can kind of always kickstand, keep your left toes kind of on the ground, or maybe find balance and press your foot into the side of the right shin. Okay, so this is a one-legged squat, so the right leg is bent and holding you up. And then draw the elbows forward, keeping space in the upper back. Now squeeze the arms and the legs together. Take one more big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Now slowly unwind, come back to one-legged Tadasana. So left knee comes back up, arms can go high, and then you're gonna take this into standing splits. So just slowly transitioning, hands can reach forward, hands are gonna slowly come to the blocks, to your chair, to the ground, folding on top of the right leg. So fun little transition. Know you made it there, it doesn't have to be pretty, but bend into the right leg as much as you need it. Lift the left leg, the hips can be kind of open here. And then we're gonna set up for warrior one. So take an inhale. As you exhale, bend the right leg, step the left foot back. So remember, more like warrior 1.5. So you can kind of walk your right foot over to the right side. Shorten the stance so you can, pivot the left heel down to the ground. Okay, so the right toes are pointing forward. The left toes are kind of diagonally pointing towards like the left top corner of your mat. Then from here, start to lift up. Hands can come to the hips. So maybe widen the stance or shorten the stance. So you can play with the hips here and draw the right hip back, left hip forward. And as you draw the left hip forward, you're not pulling on the back knee. So if you feel like you're pulling on the left knee, maybe widen the stance a little bit so you have more room to kind of play with the pelvis. So different than crescent, the left heel is grounded. And then there's a back bend here. So see if you're flaring forward, engage the core, pull the belly in. Hands can stay, they can go to heart, you maybe reach the arms high. Belly in, draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Virabhadrasana 1. Take a big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Good. And then hands can stay, or maybe hands come back to the heart. Pyramid pose, so straighten through the right leg. This time step your left foot forward. So left heel is grounded, left toes are still pointing diagonally to the left side. We'll start to draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Belly in, take an inhale, lengthen, and then as you exhale, hinge forward. So you've been here before, just a different variation with the feet. Hands can come to your chair or to blocks. Bend into the right leg as much as you need it, but making sure you're drawing the right hip straight back. Shake the head yes, shake it no. 2 rounds of breath here. Really, finding space in the back of the right leg. Be kind to yourself through this process. Take an inhale. Gently fold as you exhale. And then find your halfway lift. Lift the belly off the front thigh. Bend into the right leg and then forward fold. Step to the top of your mat. Shake it out. Good. Slowly rise. Extend it to Tadasana. Arms can reach up overhead. And then exhale, release. Hands to heart. Woo. All right, lastly, other side, and then we'll stretch it out. So ground down through the left foot. One-legged Tadasana. Right knee will come up. Hands can stay at the heart to start. But flex through the right foot. Squeeze the left glute. And then setting up for eagle pose, Garudasana. Hands can go high. So eagle on the right. Right arm underneath the left. Cross at elbows. Give yourself a hug or cross at the wrist. And then right leg wraps around the left. So remember, this is a one-legged squat here. So bend into the left leg. And then right toes can come to the ground, kind of kickstand. Or find balance and press the edge of your right foot into the edge of the left shin. And then see if you can keep the elbows in line with the shoulders. Press the elbows forward, find space in the upper back. Now squeeze it all together here. So strong. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. Slowly unwind. Coming back to one-legged. Arms can go high, right knee in line with the hip. And then take your time. Explore transitioning to standing splits. So reaching forward. Slowly be kind to your body here. Make your way all the way down. Hands to chair, to the blocks, to the ground, fold on top of the left leg. So really focusing on those hamstrings here, but bend into the left leg as much as you need it. Lift the right leg, hips can kind of be open. Relax the head of the neck. And then take one more big inhale. When you're ready, step back for warrior one. Bend into the left leg, step the right foot back. So left foot right away can kind of walk over to the left side, bringing the stance more hip width. And then right toes will be pointed towards the right side, kind of like to the edge of the right corner of your mat. And then you can stay here or slowly start to lift up. Hands can come to the hips. So right heel is grounded, so different than crescent. The hips may kind of be open to the right, which is okay. Just actively draw the right hip forward. And when you do that, if it pulls on the back knee, maybe shorten the stance or widen your stance. You have more room to play with the pelvis. And then belly pulls in, engage the core, soften the jaw. And you can always stay here or reach the arms up overhead. Warrior one, more like warrior 1.5. Don't worry about the hips not being squared. It's okay if they're open. Listening to the back right leg, the back knee. Big inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then from here, hands can come back to heart. Lastly, pyramid pose. Straighten through the left leg. Step the right foot forward. Shorten the stance, making sure the back heel is grounded. Left hip draws back. Take an inhale, lengthen. And then as you exhale, start to fold. Hands to chair, to the blocks, to the ground. Framing up the left foot. Upper body is heavy. Bend into the left leg as much as you need it. Draw the left hip back. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful work, everyone. Take an inhale. Gently fold as you exhale. Last big hamstring stretch. Great work. And then take your halfway lift. Find space. Bend the left leg. Step the right foot forward. Forward fold. Shake it out. Good. And then one more time. Inhale, rise. Come all the way up through center. And then exhale, hands to heart. Samasthiti, standing at attention. Just take a breath or two here. Soften the shoulders. Find some gratitude for yourself. A lot of different transitions, maybe some new transitions for you. So just remind yourself you made it. May not have been pretty, but you made it from point A to point B. You can always celebrate that. So take a deep inhale, fill up with gratitude for yourself. Open mouth, exhale, let it go, share it off. Awesome job. And then let's come on to our backs. Beautiful work. If you have a block, blankets, anything you may need, feel free to grab it. So we're going to stretch it out. So come all the way down. You can keep the feet on the ground, maybe find movement in the knees, or start to float the feet, grab for the shins, the thighs, and just kind of rock side to side. Give your low back some love. Awesome work. And then you can stay here or figure four. Left foot will come to the ground, cross the edge of your right foot to the top of the thigh, keep the right foot flexed, and then gently draw the right knee away. Just see how this feels. You can hang out, or maybe you lift the left foot. Left foot can always come to a block, or maybe interlace the fingers behind the thigh. But start to draw the right knee away. Keep the right foot flexed, soften the shoulders, and just give some love to the right glute, the right hip. You can even find movement here or hang on stillness. Maybe starting to close the eyes, really bringing the awareness inward. And then you can come back to the breath, just finding that nice rise and fall of the chest, of the belly, allowing the mind to be here, present with the body. Last 2 rounds of breath. Make sure to adjust if you need to. Take one more big inhale. Breathe into the right hip as you exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Same thing other side, figure four. Right foot to the ground, cross the edge of your left foot to the top of the thigh. Keep your left foot flexed, and then gently draw the left knee away. So see what you need on this side. You can stay here, maybe float the right foot, maybe interlace the fingers behind the thigh. Keep the left foot flexed, draw the knee away. Try to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. And just breathe into the left side. See if you can come back to the breath. Maybe start to close the eyes. And at any point if the mind wanders off, no worries, just being aware of it and bringing it back. And take one more big inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Awesome job. And then lastly, we're going to take supported bridge or bridge pose. So if you don't have a block, you can take supported bridge or, skip this. But, if you have a block, grab it. Feet will come about hip width distance. Start to lift the hips and slide that block at any height underneath you. So one last back bend. If you are active, drive the heels down, lifting the hips. Inner thighs will draw in. And then you can explore maybe palms face up, so you can snug the shoulder blades underneath you, start to open up the chest. But we'll try to take about, 5 rounds of breath here. But if you are active, know that you can stay for as long as you want. So really focusing on creating space in the front body, the quads, the tops of the thighs, the psoas, the tops of the hips, the core muscles, the belly, the chest, and the inner shoulders. And if you are active, making sure to breathe here. A couple more rounds of breath if you want it. And then you can stay for as long as you want. Supported bridge is one of my favorite postures, so feel free to stay here as long as you want. But when you're ready, you can slowly release, place the block off to the side, and then Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose on the back. Soles of the feet together, knees can go wide. Maybe right hand to the heart, left hand to the belly. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Open and close the mouth. And then just breathing into the inner thighs. You can always place your blocks underneath the outer thighs for support. This is a great posture to really feel the breath, to come back to the breath. As we really start to slow it down, seeing if you can keep the mind here with the body. Coming back to your focal point, to the breath, or maybe back to your intention. And one more time, thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for taking time out of your busy day for yourself. To move the body, to strengthen the body, to maybe find some space in the body and space in the mind. Letting go of those things that no longer serve you. Take a deep inhale, fill up with gratitude, kindness for yourself. Big open mouth exhale, share it off, let it go. And then you can stay here or grab for the outer thighs, slowly close your legs like a book. And then we'll find a nice final twist. So you can cactus the arms up overhead and maybe keep the knees together or cross the right leg on top of the left, kind of finding those eagle legs again. And then slide the hips to the right, knees can go to the left. So find a twist that feels good for you. Maybe draw the left shoulder blade underneath you to make room for the right, but no need to force the shoulder or the knees to the mat. And then lastly, gaze can stay up, or maybe chin starts to fall towards the right. You can always start to close the eyes here, starting to slow everything down. But as best as you can, trying to keep the mind here with the breath, with the body. The mind has wandered off, no worries. Take a deep inhale. Maybe go a little bit taller through the crown of the head. And then gently twist and let it all go as you exhale. And then slowly unwind, come back to center. And then take your twist to the other side. So knees together, maybe cross the left leg on top of the right. The knees will fall to the right, hips to the left. Maybe explore lifting the right shoulder to make room for the left. But gaze can be up, maybe chin falls to the left side. Eyes can be closed or find a focal point. But really slowing it all down. Maybe slowing the breath down to help slow the mind down. And I apologize if you can hear my dogs playing in the background, but this is a great example of, tapping into your meditation practice. Just being aware of those sounds in the distance, but instead of attaching yourself to them, can you just acknowledge them and then let them be? Coming back to the breath, back to your body. 2 more rounds of breath. Take one more big inhale. Gently twist as you exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly unwind. And then lastly, option 4, final inversion. So maybe legs up the wall, or any other postures, stretches, movement that your body is calling for. So you can always take legs up the wall, move to the wall, place your legs on the wall, or start to lift the legs up overhead. If you have a block, you can take it at the lowest height, slide underneath you for waterfall pose. Maybe the hands come behind the thighs. Allowing the legs to lift up over the heart, over the head, to reverse blood flow, to reverse gravity here. Giving some love to the feet, to the ankles, to the legs. These muscles that help us stay lifted all day long, help us stand up. But make sure you can relax the face, the jaw, the shoulders. You can even shake the legs out, whatever feels good here. And then you can stay for as long as you want. This is a great posture to be in for a long period of time. It's a great posture to take at any point in your day to kind of, send blood, oxygen towards the heart and even towards the brain. Whenever you're ready, you can release. If you have a block underneath you, place it off to the side. And then you can curl into a tiny little ball here, maybe grabbing for the shins, sending the knees towards the chest. Maybe lift the head, sending the forehead to the knees. Give yourself a hug, squeeze it all together. And then when you're ready, slowly releasing into Savasana, corpse pose. Taking up as much space as you like. You can, place blocks underneath the knees. So you can roll up a blanket and place it underneath the knees. Don't even be afraid to place a blanket maybe underneath the head, making sure, the head is at a position that feels good. The palms can be face up to really open up the chest, opening up to receive. Or maybe you want to feel grounded. You can place the palms face down and really feel the palms, connecting with the earth, with the ground underneath you. And then feel free to take some time to scan the body from the toes all the way up to the crown of the head. Relaxing the toes, the feet, the ankles. Soften the legs, the glutes, the low back. Relax the belly, the shoulders, the chest. Soften the arms, the hands, the fingertips. Relax the face, the jaw. Maybe let the tongue fall from the roof of the mouth. But allow the body to find stillness. Allow the body to find some well-deserved rest. And then take that rest up into the mind. Giving the mind permission to let go of overthinking, analyzing, and allow the mind to just be here with the breath. To take some time to also rest. But know at any point if the mind wanders off, that's totally normal. Can you just acknowledge that, let it go, and then come right back to the breath without any judgment. But for these last few moments, take time to just be exactly who you are. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to think about, but to find some well-deserved rest. you have extra time, please feel free to stay for as long as you want. Whenever you're ready, slowly start to deepen your breath. And then start to bring small movements back in. You can wiggle the fingers, the toes, maybe roll your ankles, your wrists, let the head rock heavy side to side. An option for a nice full body stretch. Reach the arms up overhead, send the legs long, take some wiggles. And then you can send the knees to the chest. Feel free to stay here or rock to your favorite side for fetal pose, using your bottom arm as a pillow. You can stay here. But whenever you're ready, you can gently press up to a seat, cross the ankles, sit on the shins. Maybe roll the shoulders up and down, find some movement in the neck and the head. But one more time, connecting with the spine. Drawing the low belly in, soften the shoulders back, grow tall through the crown of the head, and then maybe add that little tuck of the chin. And then always an option to take your intention or anything you cultivated here on your mat with you off your mat. Maybe trying to be present as best as you can, being fully engaged in everything you do. Allowing the mind to be focused on what's occurring right in front of you. To maybe see all these amazing things we have right now. Go ahead, take a deep inhale in through the nose, biggest breath yet. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Hands can come to heart center, Anjali Mudra, sealing in our practice. And I thank you all for being here. I thank you for sharing your energy, your practice. I thank yoga for bringing us together. And from my heart to yours, with so much gratitude, I bow. Thank you, thank you.